What's up, everybody? It is Feral Bunny Productions again, back with another heroclix video. The first three we did yesterday had a great response. I had people messaging me on Facebook asking how to get involved, how to start playing, what they need to get started. That was the sole purpose. I don't care if you guys see what I opened. It's not the purpose of it. The purpose was to get people interested. Endgame just came out. Everybody's still in their feels about that. I pulled all these Iron Mans, Iron Mans, whatever. I figured this was a good way to show people the kind of characters that are in sets like this, and to really just get people motivated to maybe just try it out. I mean, 12 bucks is all it takes to buy a booster. You can pretty much make a team out of whatever you pull. Along with, you know, any free stuff that would be given to you as a free player, or as a new player, excuse me. I've never seen a new player not receive a ton of free stuff. I mean, it's just how this community works. There have been guys whose houses have burned down and lost everything, and the community came together and gave the dude a whole new collection. I mean, just this is a really good community. It's just a lot of fun, a lot of friendships to be made. Like I said yesterday, a lot of strategy involved, a lot of thinking. If you've ever played like even as basic as Pokemon, if you've ever played Pokemon, and there's not a single person watching this that can tell me that they've never played Pokemon cards or collected them or anything. It's essentially the same idea. You have your piece against your opponent's piece. I would have Yellowjacket here against the Hood. Obviously, they'd be on a map. It's a turn-based game, so you would take your turn, I would take mine. We roll to see who hits, roll to see what kind of damage is done, stuff like that. There's powers involved, just like Pokemon. Obviously, Pokemon is a lot dumbed down. It's geared a lot more towards kids. This is a lot more critical thinking, a lot more strategy involved, a lot more, you know, team based. This piece works off of this piece, and this piece works off of this piece, and you need these two pieces to fix this piece, and there's a lot involved, and it's a lot of fun. So if there is anybody else out there who is interested, I'm going to be making just starter videos, telling everybody exactly what they need to get started, where they can go, what websites they can look at, YouTube videos, stuff like that. I'll help everybody out to get started. Again, the end game here is getting more players involved, especially locally. So what we're going to do here is we are going to jump right into this Illuminati set. We're going to start with the Illuminati Keyword, because anybody who has played with me knows that I have been a die-hard Illuminati fan since I've been playing heroclix. That was my main keyword outside of the X-Men. I was super excited about this set. I'm disappointed there's no Reed Richards, but where there was no Reed Richards, there was a lot more surprises. So it's bittersweet. It is what it is. Eventually we will get the Fantastic Four back, and we'll just have to wait. Hopefully it's sooner than later, and we can incorporate them, you know, with these, and they can all be modern together. But if not, it's coming. It is what it is. So what we're going to do, like I said, we're going to look at what all these guys do, look at some of the sculpts, the paint jobs, just kind of give you a basic rundown of, you know, what everybody does, and the synergy that this team may end up having. It usually looks like a lot of fun to do theme teams like this, especially when it is a huge keyword like the Illuminati. Here you see my my logo on my dice here. Feral Bunny Productions, just a regular D6 with my logo as the 6. I do have my tokens What these are action tokens, if you don't know. You do a turn, you put this underneath them. That's how you know that this guy has gone. You can put two of them under there, two different colors, to just know that he's now tokened up, as we say in heroclix land. So then he has to pull on his next turn. He can't be given an action. He has to take those off as his action. So it's kind of, again, going into the strategy of movement and turns and how you place your guys and exactly the timing of your turns and stuff like that. So we'll talk about all that in one of the other videos. Right now we're going to dive right into Yellowjacket here. As you can see, Tank Pim. This is classic Yellowjacket paint job. Pretty basic stuff here. I know it's not focusing. It would rather focus on my ugly mug than the actual heroclix that I'm putting in my camera's face. You can see he has 5 range there. He does not have Indomitable. No flying, no tiny size, just regular, basic old Hank. He is 55 points, has the Avengers team ability. He has the Avengers, Defenders, Illuminati, Initiative, and Scientist keyword, which is pretty awesome that he has such range. Scientist especially has become one of my favorite keywords lately, especially with that Power Girl who came out in Rebirth. She's ridiculous. So he has on his defense there, on his second, third, and fourth clicks, that grants him willpower and tiny size. And then he has the name of that power is Let's Look at a Problem from a Different Angle. And then the damage power that he has for his first and last click, where you can see that box there, that empty box, it grants him leadership, and then as a free action he can choose one, Outwit or Perplex. Yellowjacket can use the chosen power until your next turn. So what that means is Outwit, I can take a power away from somebody. Perplex, I can make my attack stronger, make my defense stronger, make your defense weaker, make your attack weaker, make your damage weaker, my damage stronger. Whatever I want to do, I can up something or down something by 1. Makes him pretty effective at 55 points for an Illuminati team when there's going to be a lot of heavy hitters. He's going to definitely be a staple as far as support goes. So we're gonna go from like common up to uncommon, and then rare, and then super rare, and then obviously the chase. So the other common that I pulled was this Iron Man here, old helmetless Tony. If I can get him to, there we go. It's pretty detail oriented. There are some paint jobs that are better than others. It's kind of hard to mess up red and copper though. He looks great. Got his goatee. He looks pretty strong on that starting dial there. You can see he has hypersonic. He has an 11 attack. That is an 18 defense with invulnerability, and then he's hitting for 4 damage, guys. He is a common. He has 6 range with dual targets. He has the Avengers team ability. He is 90 points. He looks pretty legit. He has willpower, so he can be given 2 tokens without any penalty. He looks pretty legit. His keywords are the Avengers, Illuminati, Shield, Stark Industries, Armor, and Scientist again. So Scientist, like I said, is a great generic keyword, especially lately. His powers are Stabilizing Repulsor Failure, gives him Earthbound Neutralized and Sidestep, so he can be carried and sidestep and all that stuff. He has that for his last 2 clicks, so probably won't even see it that often, because before that all he has is Toughness, so I'd imagine he'll get hit and he'll just bypass that anyway. I mean, there's obviously the chance that he'll have it, but it's not too likely, I don't think. At the end there, his defense, those boxes, he has Self-Repairing Systems Online that grants him Regeneration, Toughness. When Iron Man uses Regeneration, after resolutions, he may make an attack. So, you want him to get down to those last 2 clicks, because he gets to heal back up and make an attack, which normally you can only do one or the other. That is absolutely amazing. For 90 points, he is great. I'm liking these commons, these low-costed little commons. That would be, he was 55, he's 90, that's 145 points. That's not too bad, considering there are single pieces for that or more in this set, so that's pretty decent. So we're going to go to the uncommons now. We got Black Ant, who I'm interested to look at. You can see he looks like Ant-Man, but he is not. I believe he's like the counterpart of Ant-Man, like the yin and yang. He's the bad to Ant-Man's good. I'm really not super familiar with him. Just kind of appearances, never really anything where he's a main focus. You can see he has a little bit of poison action there with the shape change, so it looks like he might be a tie-up piece, which is always great. He does have Leap Climb. He's 70 points. He has the Hydra team ability, 0 range. He's not tiny. He's just regular sized. No willpower. Oh yeah, he does have willpower. That's actually great. Well, Yellowjacket did not, but he gets that willpower eventually. But there's been a lot of Marvel sets that just never have willpower, and now they do, which is great. His keywords here: he has Hydra, Illuminati, Masters of Evil, and Robot. His name is Eric O'Grady. Obviously, Yellowjacket was Hank Pym. Iron Man is Tony Stark. Those are staples of the Marvel world. Everybody should know that. He has a trait. This is the first trait we're coming across. This means that it is built in. It's not like you have to wait for it to pop up. This is automatic. He always has this. Okay, it is called Rule as the World Burns. When an opposing character rolls for leadership and the result is a 1 or a 2, remove an action token from Black Ant. That is great. That is huge. I can't tell you how many times I roll 1s or 2s. That is great. For my opponent, not for me. That is great. That's going to come in handy. Then he has a second trait. Pym Particle Powered Saboteur. Grants him stealth, free action, tiny size until your next turn. If Black Ant has tiny size and an opposing character begins moving while adjacent to him, after resolutions, you may place him adjacent to that character. So it's kind of like he passes through, if somebody passes through him and picks him up, he attaches himself and goes with you. Gonna pause this, kids are coming. Alright, sorry about that. I have 4 kids and a friend of my daughter's is visiting. So there are 5 kids here screaming while I'm trying to make this video. So anyway, that granted him stealth, free action, he can be tiny size until your next turn. Then if Black Ant has tiny size and an opposing character begins moving while adjacent to him, after resolutions, you may place him adjacent to that character. So it's like a free carry from an opponent, which is great. That is awesome, considering he only eventually gets sidestep. He has no move and attack. That'll work out great. Then on his very last click, it is a stop click. It says, I don't want to die again. Stop. Regeneration. Pulse wave with a range of 8. When Black Ant uses Pulse Wave after resolutions, KO him. So basically, he sacrifices himself at the very end, just like Tony. Just like old Iron Man did. He is 70 points. He's going to come in handy, just like the other two here. I'm digging these lower costed Illuminati guys. I thought they were going to be a lot weaker than they are. I'm definitely digging them. I can see a lot of playability. Definitely a lot of playability. So now we're moving on to Medusa, who is also an uncommon. You can see she has sidestep there to start out with. She has the precision strike, energy shield deflection. If I can get this to focus again. I'm sure you guys are picking up the audio in the background of my kids yelling. But hey, what would I do without them, right? No team ability here. Kind of upsetting that the Inhumans don't have a team ability yet, especially after Earth X. There have been a lot of Inhumans made. I think it's time. It's time, WizKids. Give us an Inhumans team ability. Give us something. Make them wild cards. Do something. They deserve it. I mean, they're so underrated as a team. And by the way, I'm so upset that I didn't get a Lockjaw yesterday. I actually have a Bulldog who looks exactly like Lockjaw, and he was like my main one. I would rather had him than a Chase, honestly. I love Lockjaw. He's awesome. Big fat snarling Bulldog, you know. So anyway, Medusa here. Her keywords: Avengers, Illuminati, Inhumans, and Ruler. Real name: Medusalith Amaquellan. However you want to say that, you can judge. I don't know. Amaquellan, Amaquellan, whatever. I don't know if you were able to see that, but Google it, I guess. She has a trait, Living Locks. As a free action, generate a living hair bystander. She can only have one on the map at a time. There's the bystander there. There's a lot going on with that. You can see there's no stats. I know why, and I will get into it, but that's the first time I've seen anything like that where there's no stats. That's pretty cool. She has nothing really to read other than that, so we'll go down to the bystander. It has a trait called It's Still Attached to Me after resolutions of any action. If living hair is not adjacent to the character that generated it, KO it. So even if you were to do a free action like sidestep, do anything like move, anything, if you're not adjacent to that hair at the end of your movement, it pops off the map. So that's kind of bittersweet. But then again, it can attack and then maybe sidestep away. Who knows? I'm sure there's a reason why that's going to come into play. Alright. Freaking kids, let me tell you. Alright, so again, I don't know what exactly that would be useful for. It probably isn't. I mean, it doesn't seem like there would be any time that would benefit you, but who knows. She then has, or the hair then has a trait, an extension of myself. Living hair has the printed combat values and can use the standard powers displayed on the dial of the character that generated it, protective pulse wave. So, the reason it has no stats or no powers, no nothing, is because it gets everything that Medusa has. That is awesome. So, she can essentially stand back, let her hair do the work, just like freaking Sindel from Mortal Kombat. She is whipping her hair back and forth, and she's going to make you bleed with it. That is awesome. She's 50 points. Even if I'm not using her with Illuminati, I'm definitely using her with Inhumans, next to her husband, Black Bolt, who is going to smack people for huge amounts from Earth X. He's incredible. I cannot wait to make me an Inhumans team, but I have to get that Lockjaw first. I have the con exclusive one, but I have to get that one that just came out. It is just awesome looking. So here we got a Black Panther. This is an uncommon. He is a wild card. He is 95 points. He's pretty high for a uncommon. He's the highest we've seen so far. Willpower. He has a little bit of perplex there. 0 range. Like I said, he's a wild card, so he can copy the team ability of, you know, whatever team he's on, the Avengers or whatever. His keywords are Avengers, Illuminati, Wakanda, Ruler, and Warrior. For 5 extra points, Black Panther starts the game with any 1 Infinity Gem equipped. For 15 extra points, he may instead start with any 1 of the Infinity Gauntlets equipped. So, for half of what the gems cost, half of what the gauntlets cost, he can start with them. That's pretty awesome. They grant you a lot of stuff, and you can choose whichever one you want. That's great. That's really beneficial to him. He then has a trait, Wakanda Forever, and this is shared with all of the Wakanda pieces in this set. When Black Panther is knocked out, immediately after resolutions, heal a friendly character 1 click. If that friendly character has the Wakanda keyword, and this is important, if it has the Wakanda keyword, also modify their attack and damage by +1 until the end of your next turn. So he dies, he heals you, and gives you a boost to your attack. That is great. Man, I got more cuts in this than I'm getting frustrated. Too many kids at all times. Gotta pause every 5 seconds. Coffee helps. So anyway, he's got that huge boost to Wakanda pieces. He then has an attack power for his first 4 clicks. It is Absorbed Kinetic Energy, Quake. Quake as a free action, but only if Black Panther was hit since your last turn. So if he gets hit, he gets to Quake for free. Then he can turn around and Quake as a power action. He's pretty intense. He might have a lot of playability for his points, but I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about him. I guess I'll have to wait and see. He has potential, especially in a high point game. He definitely has potential, but there might just be some other Illuminati pieces that are going to be a lot stronger for lower points. So we're going to move on to the rares now. Yeah, move on to the rares. So she can be played. This is Enchantress. She can be played at 135 points or 90 points. She has the Mystics team ability. She does not have willpower. No indomitable, I should say. Pretty heavy hitter. She has 7 range with dual targets. And I'm really trying to get this to focus. This is, of course, at her 135 points. There we go. She has running shot with that. So that's 11 squares that she's hitting somebody for at least 4 penetrating. She could break that up however she wanted between 2 targets though. So she's pretty beefy. And then at the 90 points, she's still pretty brutal. She can then do 3 penetrating damage to 2 targets. That's pretty great. I'm sure you guys can hear that crashing in the background. Those are my kids. So she has the Asgardian, Illuminati, Masters of Evil, Young Avengers, and Mystical Mystical Keywords. She has a trait, Rule as the World Burns. When an opposing character rolls for leadership and the result is a 1-2, remove an action token from Enchantress. We've seen that earlier with Black Ant. She then has Beguiling Glamour, Mind Control, Shape Change, but only if Enchantress has 0 or 1 action tokens. So she gets the Mind Control, and then if you want the Shape Change, you have to have no action tokens or maximum of 1. It's pretty useful, especially since she doesn't have willpower. It's good that she doesn't have to have 2 action tokens, because then you'd have to push her all the time, and I don't really think she'd be worth it. But then, on her first 3 clicks and last 2 clicks, she has the damage ability, damage power, holding her own against the Sorcerer Supreme. As a free action, roll a d6, have the result, and choose that many of the following powers to use until your next turn. Outwit, Perplex, and Probability Control. So, if you roll a 6, she can use all 3. That is pretty great. For 135 points, though, I don't know. The 90 I can see. But then you lose all movement attacks. I'm not sure. I think if she had Indomitable, or at least willpower somewhere on her dial, I could see her being worth the points a little more than she is. I'm not saying she's not worth the points. I think there might be better options, just like that Black Panther. I'm not sure. Again, time will tell. I haven't played with any of these yet. These are all brand new, so we're kind of I'm just as new to this as you guys are when it comes to this set. I really didn't look at anything. I wanted to be excited for this set, and so far I'm pleasantly surprised. So we have a Namor here. He's 110 points or 75 points. No team ability. He does have Indomitable. Basic, just in your face, punch you. Namor. I know it's kind of hard to see there. Beautiful sculpt. Nice, just classic Submariner here. He's one of them characters. It's like I don't know. I've never really gotten behind him. He's kind of just emo. Just always bitching about something. Always crying. But at 110 points, he's less than Enchantress here, so. But he also has no range, so who knows? Who knows what he's capable of? He does have Atlantis, Avengers, Cabal, Illuminati, Invaders, Ruler, and Warrior. I think it's the first time I've seen Invaders. I don't recall having any Invaders out of my hundreds of heroclix. So that's interesting. He has the ability where you can pay 5 extra points. Bearer of the Power and Time Gems. Namor starts the game with either the Power Gem or the Time Gem equipped. So you pay the extra 5 points. And I have both the Power and the Time Gems here. Here's what they do. You can pause it. Pay 5 points. That's what he gets. Pay 5 points. That's what he gets. That'll be a different video where I'll run through what all these guys do there. We're coming up on a half hour, so I'll probably stop after the next rare, and then I'll do another video where it's the super rares and the chases, just so we don't draw this out. I want to make sure it does actually post to YouTube. I don't know what the time limit is there. But then he has that Rule as the World Burns, where if your opponent rolls for leadership and gets a 1 or a 2, you can remove an action token from Namor. You have angered the Prince of Atlantis. That is on his first 3 clicks if you play him at 110 points. He gets charge. and Flurry, but only if he has the Time Gem equipped. So he has Charge, but he gets Flurry if he gets the Time Gem equipped. So he would essentially have to be 115 points to ever have Charge and Flurry together. He then, for his last 4 clicks, has My Fury is as the Tempest Unleash. Battle Fury, when Namor attacks with the Power Gem equipped and targets only characters with printed range values of 5 or more, modify his damage by +1, and the damage dealt is penetrating. That is crazy. So for 5 points, if you play him at 80 points, he has that his whole dial. He gets that Power Gem. It grants him whatever all it grants him. And then all of his damage dealt is penetrating. And you can see what he's hitting for. 3, 3, 4, 4. That's pretty devastating. He can be a monster. He is definitely low costed enough that he is worth it. I am very impressed with Namor. Here is the first rare that I pulled, the first object I pulled, the first booster I opened yesterday. It is Captain America. You can see the bullets ricocheting off of his shield there. This is just an incredible sculpt. Awesome detail. He is 95 points. He has the Avengers team ability. He has Indomitable. And look at that starting click. He is beefy. He got a 12 attack. And then you're bumping him up with Yellowjacket. You're bumping him up with Black Panther. I mean, these guys. Namor can be next to him, granting him a 4 damage and stuff. I mean, this is just crazy. This team is going to be absolutely insane. I feel sorry for anybody who has to deal with the Illuminati. I really do. His keywords obviously are Avengers, Illuminati, Past, and Soldier. It is Steve Rogers. He has Bearer of the Time Gem for 5 extra points. Captain America starts the game with the Time Gem equipped. We just looked at that. That is this. You can go ahead and pause it. Again, we'll get into that in another video, what all these things do here. That costs him 5 points rather than the 10, and it's automatically equipped to him. He doesn't have to take a power action to get it, so it's definitely beneficial. Pausing again. Kids are playing hide and seek now, and they think they can hide down here, and that's not okay. So anyway, he has a trait, Sentinel of Liberty, free, choose combat reflexes or energy shield deflection. Captain America can use the chosen power until your next turn. That's awesome. That's free. That costs nothing. You get either combat reflexes or energy shield deflection. That's great. That's amazing. That gives him a printed